Bobby, it's been a while. I'm having internet issues, so this has been a nightmare. Morning, HB. I'm having horrible internet issues, so we're gonna try our best today. It's very frustrating, but it's nice to be back in my old spot. I hope you guys can hear me. I got used to not having to talk very loud. Also, I got a new book. And of course you can't see it because I can't get the setup up. Just to the old view for now. It's still reversed too. My internet is just being atrocious. And like, look at this light. I don't know what's going on. So we're here though. Doing this one. It's a little mail carrier guy taking mail to a ghost, okay? Why is there so much light? Hold on. He can't seem to get the light rays to go away. At least they're pretty. Hey, Paul, good morning. I'm having a day, and it's just started. I hope that my internet plays nice, and I hope that you guys can hear me. Please let me know. Also, let me know what you think about being back in the old spot. You're only here today because the internet's not cooperating, but my videos have been performing so badly lately that I kind of want to see if maybe it's better today. Oh, hi, David. Good morning. Getting there. Man, it's been a time and a half already. I wish you guys could see what I was doing. I hate that you can't, but it is what it is. I'll show you guys as I go, though. HB, I got your emails. Thank you. It was very kind of you. Okay, I'm gonna just start going at this. How has everyone's week been? I know that I have been in a spot the last couple days, but I refuse to let that keep going. I have such a fun weekend planned. I'm about to start traveling. I leave on Friday for Vegas for the weekend, for 2 weddings, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to get my head on straight before then. What's the ask feature? Is that on, HB? It's something that I think makes it so that someone can pose a question, but I think it turns off the regular comments, so I don't use it. Well, my internet's not cooperating enough for me to go look at it right now. But you'll probably get a little bit more of the atmospheric noise again now that you're on the phone, right? So frustrated with the internet, I have half a mind to try and I can't bring the markers with me to Vegas. Since I have half a mind to bring all this with me and try again there with better internet and a new location for a night, but I can't bring all the markers. Maybe if we're lucky, Monty will come out. Weird. I can't see that on my end, HB, the ask thing. I saw it as a thing that I could turn on, and I didn't think I did. Let's see. do anything while I'm already live. Have you used it before, HB? The diamond feature, the apps. Paul, honestly, it's been such a terrible, like, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. But it's getting better, I think. It's got to get better, right? And yeah, I think it would be fun to do a Vegas live. I just don't really know what's in store for plans. Like what the schedule entails and what opportunities I'll have. But I would like to. I haven't been to Vegas since I was 21. And I'm not a gambler at all. It doesn't interest me. But I'm very excited. Started packing. Roll and live, flow and go. Hey Andy, good morning. You just had an ad, HB. I thought that you didn't pay for ads. Or I thought you paid to not have those. It's interesting. Roll and live, flow and go. I like that, Paul. I really do. I need some sort of magic to happen ASAP. And I like to think that the next week while I'm traveling, because I'm also going to Santa Fe for a wedding the following weekend, and I like to think that there's a lot of magic in Las Vegas and in Santa Fe, so hopefully it'll rub off. Coloring a big swath of sky. This mailman's delivering at night because the moon's up. Hey Richard, good morning. You like water? I know, you're right. That is one of the things I'm kind of working on right now as I'm going through a little bit of a challenging situation, to be more flowing and be more present in the moment. I saw a video the other day of this guy talking about how oftentimes the Friday before vacation is better than the last day of vacation. Even though you're off and you're on vacation, that last day always brings the dread of going back to work, going back to real life, whatever it is. And he was basically just saying that we are constantly living in the future. We're constantly living in anticipation of something, and that our moods are oftentimes dictated by what we anticipate it will be. So if we're going on vacation, we're excited about what that could be like. And so, you know, there's happiness even though we're not on vacation yet. And when we're on vacation and we're getting ready to go back to work, there's all this dread and anxiety because you know the vacation's ending and you're going back to work, but you're not back at work yet. You're still on vacation, but that whole day, not necessarily ruined, but just isn't as enjoyable as it would be if you were just like present in the moment. And I have not stopped thinking about that since I saw it. So, pleasant reminder, should anyone else need to hear that. I know that anxiety is rooted in the future, and I know that depression is rooted in the past, but I have just never heard it phrased that way in terms of like vacation or the weekend or whatever. But it feels so true to me about that. So yes, I'm trying to be like water. I'm trying to go with the flow. I'm trying to be present in the moment and not freaking out about the future. Well, at the same time, you know, you still have to kind of plan for the future. It's, you know, there's a lot of thoughts. I'm almost done with the sky. It'll look up better. have The Power of Now, but I haven't read it yet. Actually, it's like right in the other room. I've been carrying it around like I was gonna start it, and I restarted The Untethered Soul because I feel like my heart really needed that. Okay, the ask feature can summarize the chat. Okay. I will turn that on next time, HB, and we can experiment with it and see what that is like. Hey, Teresa. Ask was edited this morning, but yesterday it talked about Andy's MIB. Did it really? It knew what we were talking about? Hey, Ellie. Or not Ellie. Good morning. Okay. Sky is done. Also, I am like the spinning wheel of death over here because of how poor my internet's being right now. So I'm hoping that I'm keeping up with the chat. I wonder if I change the Wi-Fi to this. Anyway, how are you guys? Oh my gosh, stop. Really, HB? That's curious. Okay, wait. I'm getting life. No, I'm not. Man, this internet sucks right now, guys. I thought you paid for YouTube Premium, HB. I think that's the only way to turn ads off. I just got one too. Because I don't pay for it. That is the only way that I know from your end. Are you guys having the same technological issues I am because this isn't working? It's so frustrating, guys. I'm sorry. Are you guys still there? I can't even tell if this is working on this end. It's very frustrating. Hi, Hannah. Man, this is so... I'm having such a day. Paul, I've been monetized since July. And you've been there since then. Were you not... Is everyone just getting ads all of a sudden like they weren't before? Hi, Jimmy. Hi. Yeah, what's going on your guys' end? I did not do anything different except switching to my phone, back to my phone, which is where I was before. I cannot tell what is happening with my internet. It's just being so difficult. Yep. No, you're fine, Paul. I look radiant, Jimmy. Thank you. I do not feel radiant. I don't even know where the dog went. I'll give Monty a treat. Hold on. Let me go get the dog. Give you some energy. Ask and you shall receive, dog. Can you sit here and hang out with everybody, please? Over there. Watch him carry it away now. But I'm trying. No, stay out here. Okay, just go right off camera so no one can see you, but they can all hear you. I tried. It's the sunlight. Thanks, HB. He's right here. I like if I could move him, but he literally weighs more than I do, so I can't. But I would for you guys. He's got a sense of free will himself. You guys, thanks for chilling with me. I needed it. Things have so just not been going right, left, right, and center, that just being on and like getting to sit with you guys for a second is very nice. Okay, love you, Hannah. I'll feel you later. I mean, the problem, HB, if I could do a split screen cam on him, I would, but the problem is that he moves. I can't put a camera on him because he runs all over the place. There's no place to put the camera. Way I've had a week, a representation of the past showing itself in the present, interestingly enough, existing in the present. It's a very good observation. I have had a week, but I'm about to have more of a week, right? Because time's still going. So I am determined that this weekend is going to be amazing. I feel it. We need it. I feel it. I don't want to put expectations on it, but at the same time, I want to have hope. We're going to be around people we love. I get to dress up, which you guys couldn't tell from seeing me first thing in the morning, but I love to dress up. Love, 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 love to dress up. Give me a dress all day. So I'm very excited for that. And it's Vegas, and it'll be warm, and I haven't been there in so long, so I know it's going to be good. But yes, I'm trying to be present and not have that period of like I said, like those Sunday scaries or the post-vacation blues. Like I'm gonna try and be present so that I'm enjoying the time when I'm there, not thinking about coming back. Okay. G532. It's 523. Abigail, good morning. Paul, it's extremely hard to not sit in the past or future. It really is. But I'm grateful. Like, this is something I didn't even think about 10 years ago, right? I'm grateful that that's something that's just even at the top of my mind anymore and something that I'm cognizant of. Because it shows growth, right? Hi, Abigail. I don't know if I said hi. I think I did. Andy. You said try your I Ching. What's your I Ching? I know what I Ching is, but can you remind me? When you say my I Ching, do you have a specific site or something that I don't know of? Oh, thanks, Abigail. It's got a big panda bear on the back. It's a Riot Society sweatshirt that I thrifted. It's very warm. Andy, I don't know anything about I Ching, but I would actually really love to learn more. I was telling my therapist yesterday that I was really interested in somatic therapies too. I just, for whatever reason, they've been on my brain lately. Just looking into somatics and like body work for things. I will say what's interesting. Well, maybe I need to choose my words better before I go into that conversation. AJ was on, website is the Book of Changes. Okay, going. AJ was on Sean Ryan. Wasn't that a while ago now? Like a couple weeks? I feel like I saw that. Abby, who's my celebrity crush? That's a really fun question. Hold on, I'm getting Andy's website up. Book of Changes. Is it like Book of Changes? Okay, Book of Changes is bringing up a lot of things, but when you see website, is it Book of Changes.org? Okay, neither of those are working for me. Let me know, Andy. You've been working on translations of the I Ching as well as translations of the Book of Enoch? Andy, you smarty pants. Abigail, I haven't forgotten your question. I'm thinking. Who's my celebrity crush? Why can I not think of any celebrities right now? Oh. This is a crush mentally, as in like, they're just so talented, but Childish Gambino, Glover. That man is so talented. Is it Donald Glover? So insanely talented that it's hard not to like crush on the ambition and the artistry, if that makes sense. Jimmy, your boss, wants to be on Joe Rogan, but I think Sean would be pretty cool as well. Jimmy, who is your boss? Can you tell us? Okay, it is an orangey. I got that, but I got a privacy error. I'm gonna... Attackers may be trying to... Okay, well, I've saved it. I'm gonna go back and find it on my phone with my VPN. This is being weird. Dr. Hennessy was on Fade to Black with Jimmy Church. AJ talks about Book of Enoch. He does talk about Book of Enoch and Giants. I saw that because every time I see anyone talk about it, I think of you two. Because I don't understand. So wait, Andy. Smarty Pants Andy. Holy cow. Abby, do you have a celebrity crush? And Jimmy, who's your boss? I have questions for all of you. That's okay. I understand. I figured if your boss wants to be on Rogan, you can't tell me who your boss is. But that was worth an ask. How cool, though. I mean, that must mean that your boss is very interesting, right? It's the only way you end up on those shows. That's fascinating. Do you like your job or whatever it is that you do? Also, who's everyone else's celebrity crushes? I gotta think about this. I really like Emma Stone, but I don't think she qualifies for crush. Funny enough, I really like Martha Stewart's energy. But I feel like I'm more attracted to energy than physicality. John, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Man, I haven't thought of her in a second. That's a good one. Emma Watson, yeah. Her and I share a birthday. Um, Emma Watson. I almost said her, and then I didn't because I was like, is she still a celebrity? She has backed out of the spotlight in an effort to become more of an activist and get so brilliantly educated that I almost didn't count her. But Emma Watson would hardcore be a crush for sure. If we count her in, yeah. Marianne from Gilligan's Island. Oh. That's cute, HB. Andy, I'm really excited to learn more about the I Ching. Not to go back and forth with all these conversations, but my ADHD is serving me well right now. Okay, thank you, Andy. I will. Oh, and actually, it's really good to know how to email you because I would like to be able to reach out to you because I just think you're such a wealth of knowledge. And I always figure the only way I can get a hold of you is when you hop on here. And Abby asked that question and bounced. I don't know what her crush is. Wait, who? Emma's boyfriend? I don't know who her boyfriend is. I will say too, as a millennial and someone who read and loved Harry Potter, there's a big part of my personality that resonates with Hermione. So like there's also always been that. Like I've always just liked everything about her. From the character she played to like her activism to her style. But I do not know her boyfriend. Just some dude. I mean, honestly though, probably better than it being some like dude we know. I'd almost rather it be just some dude, you know? Her boyfriend is you talking about Jennifer Love John? Still found her beautiful, but she let herself go after a pregnancy. I mean, pregnancy's hard. Motherhood's hard. I don't think of it, when I see people that do that, I don't think of it as like letting themselves go. I mean, I guess in a way it is because you're absorbing yourself into the other person, right? Like you let yourself go because you're giving so much to the child or to the family unit. But I always hate that kind of terminology. I just always think of like how hard motherhood is, that like anybody who doesn't let themselves go is just unbelievably remarkable because holy shit, what a job, right? Yeah, I saw that, HB. Roland's got her own views, you know? Okay, Andy. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If I can find it, I won't bug you. But if I can't, I will email you. Alright, I gotta keep coloring on this. So you guys don't seem to mind not having the second POV of the page down. Is that right? Or do we have any preferences? No wrong answers, and you will not offend me. I just need to know what people like. Yeah, exactly, John. I think that's it. Like, yeah, exactly. You stop focusing on yourself so much, and you like end up focusing on other things. And it does change. You know, oftentimes your appearance and your physical health is unfortunately one of the first things that people let go in times of stress or busyness. Like I know when I'm stressed, I mean, I guess I run a lot when I'm stressed, but when I'm really busy, I will stop, doing all of the extra steps I do in my skincare and all of those kinds of things. And I catch myself and like have to stop myself and encourage myself to like get back into my routines. But I can't imagine having a child and going through that. It's just wild. Okay. Let's see. So anyone? Hi, Demas. Yeah, right? Oh, Demas Theodora. What a great name. Is that your real name? It's beautiful. So, agreed, it seems like no one really minds the single POV. No opinions? No, that one's out. 2 or 3. P. Blanco dating Selena Gomez. That's a personality match. She won the lottery for a $1 scratcher. Listen, they work, right? Oh no, is this marker seriously out? Good thing. Who's always judging my markers? You're lurking in the comments. Hop on out. Probably not, because you can't see what I'm doing. Why am I forgetting? Who's always giving me shit for my markers running out? Hello? There it is. It's beautiful. Oh, you're in Jakarta? We have a few friends in Jakarta. I don't think any of them are on right now. I love that I keep getting people from your area. My very first YouTube friend, Ken, is from Jakarta. Is that Ken's last name? Oh no, you're asking Demas if he knows Ken? That would, I mean, I imagine he probably doesn't, but who knows? Stop exercising, putting makeup on, and wear your comfortable clothes rather than things that hug your curves. I know, but at the same time, John, like I am in full-blown sweats, right? I'm in my comfy clothes. I'm putting myself on the internet in front of people, mostly men. I think as a woman, it's a harder one for me to swallow, that concept, because men aren't required to wear form-fitting clothes, right? Men have a different expectation. Men aren't required to wear makeup, right? So when you talk about women, you're like, oh, well, you stopped wearing makeup. Well, like, realistically, I wish we didn't have to begin with. I love makeup in that it's expressive and I enjoy the craftsmanship. I like wearing makeup, I like doing makeup, but at the same time, like, I wish I felt more comfortable without it, or I wish that as I age, if I stop wearing it, it's not looked at as letting myself go, but rather realizing that, like, why do we have to do that? But that's just me lamenting on womanhood, because it's just such a wild experience. John, did you see a puppy? I mean, there was one earlier. Did you go backwards? Okay, thanks, Paul. But that's gonna change as I age, right? So it's one of those things that, like, nothing lasts forever. So it's very, very kind of you, but what about in another 10 years? And then it's like, as you age as a woman, you have to put in even more effort because you start to feel invisible and everything changes anyways, and you start to feel unattractive, and so then you have to do even more as opposed to when you're younger and you have your youthful looks. I don't know, I'm so grateful to be a woman, but there are definitely some challenges. Okay. Go one, let's do this one. Monty, hi. Do you want to come out here and say hi to people? Hey, come here. Good boy, can I kiss? Thank you. Thank you. Puppy. You beckoned him, John. I think that there's no. Ooh, decisions. I can't decide. All right, we're gonna wait. Back to that color. Kenji in my circle. He's in a band called Jerica, formerly lived in NYC as well. Okay, so that's not our same Ken, because our Ken did not live in NYC, but he is a musician. So for a second I thought, maybe. I don't know Ken's last name though. But I do think that he did not live in New York. Oh, Paul, thank you. You're very kind. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do believe, I mean, I know I talk about energy constantly, but I believe that that also impacts, I mean, I think energy presents itself oftentimes in interactions with, I mean, maybe that's the Benny Blanco thing, right? I think that energy oftentimes projects itself more in physicality in a way that like we don't even realize at times. Like I think that like there have been people that I've met that I've been like so insanely attracted to, not in a sexual way, but in an actual just like attraction. Like I just want to watch you, I want to listen to you, I want to hear what you have to say. I am just so captivated, and it's very rarely because they are physically Adonis, right? It's because they have some sort of energy, and I've always, I don't want to say been envious of those people. Caught a dandelion piece. Not envious of those people, but always aspired to be more like that. To like have the energy come first, if that makes sense. You feel that you raised a daughter and the beauty industry is totally out of control. Dude, it's nuts. I would, like, as a young girl, I did pageants and a little bit of modeling, and there was a lot of emphasis based on my appearance, and it really fucked me up as I got older. Like, I spent a lot of time in therapy realizing how damaging it was to have people care primarily about that and not about other things about me, because then that wraps my value up in that, and then as I age and I change, my value diminishes in a way that's uncontrollable, because that is what was valued. And I realized as I got older that I think I'm more intelligent than I realized at a younger age, because it wasn't nurtured or encouraged the same way that my physicality was. It just really can fuck a person up. HB, thank you. I will be happy to continue to read from your book. I do love reading. Have I ever read Fear of Flying by Erica Jong? No, I haven't. Does that sound, it sounds a la like Fear of Greatness type thing? Is that what that means by Fear of Flying? Okay, I gotta pick up brown. That's what I was doing. Hi, 332. Who mentioned the power of now earlier? And what are your thoughts around that? And has anyone read The Untethered Soul? So like I said, I'm rereading that right now. And the first half of the book, I love that book so much, but the first half of the book really talks about recognizing the listener within ourselves, right? Like, who is hearing the voice in my head? Who is feeling the paper? Like, you are not the thing, but you are the experiencer of the things, if that makes sense. I'm sure you guys already know this. You're a very intelligent crowd. I'm very lucky. But it's been helpful in terms of, like, when you're going through some shit, to remember to, like, back up and observe differently. And I don't know. It's really been on my mind. I can't stop chewing on it. I think I might try and do a couple shorts on YouTube where I'm speed coloring, but maybe I'm reading like a passage from Untethered Soul and like talking about it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, the Promise chapter. I thought I read the Promise chapter. Am I nuts? Like, didn't I already get that far in where we're at? I'm at the intermission. I haven't read since Monday, but I'm at the intermission. And I feel like the Promise was before then, but maybe it wasn't. Like, I can't think of exactly what the Promise is either now that you're asking, so maybe not. HB, I think you and Andy should link up. I think I'd be interested to know what Andy thinks of your book. But obviously, it's not my book. I'm not saying you need to do that. But should you ever feel comfortable, I feel with his knowledge, it would be really interesting to see. And I'm really grateful that you chose to share so much on Monday. That really did mean a lot. I'm very grateful that you have chosen me. So I'm doing this patch of dirt. You guys can see it. Okay, also, I'm taking everyone's silence about the dual POV as in you're kindly telling me that you don't really care about the dual POV, correct? Because if that's the case, I can go back to this style easily. I mean, I'm going to have to adjust things anyways when I move inside, but I'll give you guys an update on the image when I refill my coffee. It's almost coffee break time. I did, but I didn't understand it. Okay, that makes more sense, HB. All right, I'm going to go back then. Paul, the book was revolutionary for its frank discussion of female sexuality and for featuring the female protagonist's quest for fulfillment. There's an excerpt about female beauty standards and stigma. Interesting, Paul. Okay. Fear of Flying by Erica Jong. Okay. I will look into it. You already have your own MIB? Do you? Correct, says Andy. Wait, correct on what? Correct that you should read his book? Correct on HB having his own Men in Black? You mentioned The Power Now, but Paul, okay. I used to read it a lot. I have to look into Untethered Soul. Please do. Untethered Soul probably isn't for everyone, but it really did something special for me. Cosmetics and jewelry are mentioned as given to women by the fallen angels in the Book of Enoch. Really? I didn't know that. Okay, here, I'm going to show you the page. I gotta get some more coffee. This is where we're at. Cutie. Nice. Simple. All right. I think Abigail ran away, but here's the panda. All right. I'm going to be right back, everyone. Okay. Look, I brought a puppy. Oh, you're in the sun. You wanna say hi? Now, let me make sure my phone's not getting hot. I don't think it is. Hi, buddy. Hi. Yes. We're very close to the camera. Can we back up? Please. Does anyone else get terrible pet anxiety when they travel? I hate not having him with me. And I always, like, I gotta, like, that's one thing that I've got to get better at. Sorry, I just got a haircut yesterday. My bangs are short, but it's morning, so I can style them. You guys are getting all these light rays, too. And I can't seem to stop it. Okay, cool. Oh, thank you, Andy. Okay, yes, got it. Okay, so Andy doesn't care about the POV. No one else has an opinion. HB, that's a good question. He asked Andy if the Book of Enoch was rejected by Christianity because of the fallen angels and giants. I don't know anything, as you guys know, but the one thing I always thought was that people rejected the Book of Enoch because of the more fantastical ideas that, like that, I guess. But I don't know. I'm curious. Okay. Oh, I think I have not used this marker before. That's nice. I'm gonna reboot my internet after this. I do not know why it's being so temperamental. I think it was the prophecy about the bad shepherd and particularly the book of the final 12. Man, I wish I knew more of this stuff, of what you guys are talking about. It sounds so interesting. Choice of scotch and bars. You would meet a beautiful, powerful, potent, and rich man who would satisfy every longing, fill every hole, and make your heart skip a beat, or stand still, make you misty. Okay, where are you going with this, Paul? HB. I mean, it's going to be lost on me, but I am interested. Fly to the moon, preferably on gossamer wings, where you would live totally satisfied forever. Okay? Listening. Oh, it's an excerpt from the book. From the Fear of Flying book or the Power of Now? Probably Fear of Flying. Yes, I did, I thought. Did I not? Talking about the choice of scotch and bars in that passage? Another comment up. You mentioned the power of now. You used to read it a lot. You'll look into the untethered soul. Oh, I thought I saw everything, Paul. The book was revolutionary. Was there another comment that I missed? I thought I read the beginning. Wait, okay, so Matthew 22, 23, 33. What a number. Jesus is tested by the Jewish authorities about marriage in heaven. He responds by saying that they do not know Scripture or the power of God. See, this is where I get lost because I don't know what any of this is. But I'm very interested, so please continue. How, I'm curious to see how it relates back to Book of Enoch. What all the ads imply? Okay, hold on, going back, Paul. I don't see that, Paul. It's like Andy's messages, like it didn't come through. I see you talking about personality, you asked about fear of flying, you said the book was revolutionary, you mentioned the power of now, choice of scotch and bars, and there it is. So for whatever reason, I don't see that message, Paul. I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't see it, but it's not coming through on my end. HB, you know I don't know what Jesus is talking about. You know, I have no clue. Because I don't know anything about the Old Testament and what it says about marriage in heaven, or where it is in Scripture. Andy might be able to answer you to have that conversation, but I really don't know. I am, as I've been reading your book, wildly impressed by your reading of the Bible. I could never get through it. I tried. I know a lot of people do, but not a strength of mine. Paul, I'm mad that my comments are being dumb and I couldn't see the beginning of yours. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. I mean, Paul, Andy's regularly censored on his channel for the dumbest reasons. Like, all the time he'll send a message and it won't go through. And he'll have to ask me, like, did you see the message? And we'll look through it and it won't have come through. Last time, on Monday, he actually had to comment on a previous video so I could go back and look at it and then copy and paste it into the chat for everyone else because his FBI agent wouldn't let him post it. Really, HB? That's a wild idea. Fallen angels took women as wives and asked Enoch to petition God to forgive them. It's so weird to think of like petitioning God for forgiveness for marriage and yada 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 when like in my brain like that's all supposed to be perfect. There's not supposed to be problems. Everyone's supposed to be happy, right? Like in this concept of heaven or whatever. I feel like those kinds of troubles just confuse me because I just feel like it's going to be different. I know, big brother, right? If it weren't for Andy, I would think that it was my channel, but I think it's just Andy. Alright, we're kind of getting somewhere here. I don't know how long I'm going. About an hour. God told Enoch that he would not forgive them because they were created eternals. They were not to have wives. Okay. And then what happened? I'm so curious. Alright, I got this little brown bear here delivering mail. Well, I don't know that he's brown, but in my head he's brown. Really, Andy? That's a curious idea. The fallen angels are the Nordic aliens. It's kind of hard to like, you know, you start to hear about some of these concepts so, oh no, it's not supposed to be green, so much that you start to wonder, like, there has to be some sort of truth to it. When I'm thinking specifically about the Nordic aliens and thinking that like so many people have claimed to have experienced them. It's crazy. Ah, I see, HB. So you're saying if they were referencing scripture, that scripture would have been, or if Jesus was referencing scripture, that scripture would have been Book of Enoch because that's where marriage is spoken about. That is a very good catch. It's a very good catch. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do. Kind of hating the colors already, but we're here now. Fallen angels are demons on earth. That's why there is chaos. See, and I have like, this is where my brain kind of like shuts off and tunes out because like my brain, I can't fathom that. Like I think my religious upbringing messed with me enough that now like the idea of demons just like I can't, I know I don't know, but I know that I have a very hard time wrapping my head around any concept like that. Chaos agent, you're right, your nightmares, yeah, you're right. No, of course not, Andy. Wait, yes. Wait. No, Enoch said they looked like white people. I see that now. But when you say white, does he mean literally white, hence the Nordic? Or white as in Caucasian, that's like half the population? I guess we're not half the population. We're just told we are. There's a lot more non-white people, but I don't know why. I don't know if it's the paper or what, but these markers are bleeding more than they have in previous coloring books, and I don't know why. Book of Enoch was in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Wait, I need to go back to the Dead Sea Scrolls too. Enoch wasn't white, the Nordics are. Yes. Okay, but he means white as in Caucasian white. I didn't know if white meant like the color white, like we're talking like green aliens, blue aliens, white aliens. You know what I mean? I see what you're saying now, though. I don't know much about the Dead Sea Scrolls, if anybody cares to enlighten me. I would be fascinated to hear the relation to that, because I don't know anything about it. I also know that while these lives no longer get very much attention and don't seem to be everyone's cup of tea, I still really enjoy being out here. I really enjoy, like, this, despite all the weird things I've been going through, sitting out here with you guys is immediately a highlight. Like, I already feel good about just being here with you. Book of Enoch was missing for like 1,500 years, was it? People have demonic spirits that come upon them and into them, that plague their lives and separate them from God through temptation, waywardness, through sin. That's the simplest explanation of demons. I think when I think of that, my brain doesn't think of demons. My brain thinks of what it means to be human. Like, we all face temptation, we all face choices to do the right thing or the wrong thing, per se, I guess. When I see that, waywardness through sin, like, I just think of that in my head, not as anything demons are doing, but it's humans being human and making their choices. Again, I'm not saying that's right. That's just where my head goes. I think there are people that do horrible, horrible things, but I never look at them and think a demon's doing that, a demon's making you do that, a demon's influencing you. I always look at them and think, like, you're making these choices. I don't know why. You have to have your reasons, but you're making these choices. But again, who fucking knows? I really don't know. Dead Sea Scrolls from about 200 BC. HB, of course. I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you for trusting me. Alf, where you been? Hi, bud. How's it going? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. One in every 20 people is a psychopath, HB. That's too many. That's too many. That can't be right. I have a lot of friends. That would mean I have several psychopath friends. That cannot be right. Is it right? I know psychopathy isn't what we think it is, necessarily. I know there's a lot of functioning people that are diagnosed with psychopathy of some type, but 1 in 20 seems like a lot. Jesus' brother James quotes Enoch in the Bible. I remember when we said this the first time, and I was like, who's... I don't think I realized that James was Jesus' brother. That is how far off I am from this. Ask Dr. Hennessy. That's wild, HB. Okay, so you notice that sin, similar to hedonistic tendencies, riddles one's life as well as the soul. Most people have a degree of narcissism. I agree. I mean, I think that a lot of aspects of our mental psyche must be on a sliding scale, right? Like, there's degrees of OCD, there's degrees of narcissism, there's degrees of autism. Like, there are levels, there are degrees of sexuality. I feel like a lot of humanity is a spectrum. It's very interesting. And yeah, Paul, in terms like what you said, hedonistic tendencies riddles one's life as well as the soul, similar to sin. That's why I think when we talk about things like demons, to me, when I think of like, oh, a demon is causing this turmoil in someone's life, it takes the responsibility away from that human and says, oh, well, the demon's doing it. You know what I mean? Versus the human's making these choices to live this life. Book of Jude, his other brother. How many brothers did Jesus have? Oh, why don't I know this? I mean, it's not like I've never seen a Bible. It's not like I've never been to church. I just really didn't know any of this stuff. That's wild. God sends prophets to help humanity. But why isn't everything just right? Right? Like, if we're created, why is it not just right? Why do we have to why is it all this back and forth and this chaos and this angels, demons, permission, forgiveness, might? It just feels like it's supposed to, like, surviving humanity, surviving life is difficult. And in my head, anything that's not to do with this life feels like it's supposed to be okay. Like, this is supposed to be the hard part. Stuff that has to do with God is supposed to be, like, blissful and perfect in my head. I guess it's clearly naive of me to think that, but I'm trying to understand. I think part of the thing that turned me away from religion as a young kid was that the way I was raised, there was a lot of fear-mongering around religion and a lot of fear-mongering around hell. And it turned me off in a way where I remember thinking, a God that would create such a place for people who didn't worship him doesn't seem like the type of God that I am drawn to. And so it turned me off in this way that, like, it just felt like there was all of this unnecessary suffering that was put on to humans because they didn't worship, and that felt very narcissistic to me. And that's kind of where I, like, blacked out of religion, and now when we talk about these things, I feel like I don't remember any of it. Jude 1:14. Free will is amazing and fascinating. I like that people are talking about it more and more. Let's see. That's why you're not religious. Yeah, HB. It's always hard for me to remember that you're not, based on the book that I'm reading. Yeah, Alf, I agree. Tribes are very important in humanity. Ooh, chilly. But not spiritually. Hypothetically, if I sin, it diminishes my soul's ability to thrive in God's plan and promise for my life. Interesting. What religion do you observe, Paul? And have you always been interested in that religion? It's people who ruin religion for others. Yeah, that's interesting. I went to church as a kid, and I got kicked out of church a lot. I got kicked out of church probably about 10 times before I stopped going for the last time. And retrospectively even, it was shocking then when it would happen. But like as an adult, 20 years later, looking back at it, it's even more astonishing to me the times when I was essentially removed from church. And it was always because I was asking questions that they didn't like. And it just really made it difficult for me to ever go back. I like that thought, Jimmy. If you do well, you're always rewarded, even in the long term, in the large scheme of everything. I agree. Okay, I got you, Paul. Christian, and no, you weren't always. You're not devout, but you've read and attended the vet. I see. No, that's awesome. I think it's great that like we have people talking about these things, right? Talking about religion and their experiences, spirituality, the differences between these things, the things that people have learned in their own experiences and are willing to share with others. It's very cool. Everyone has to be responsible for your own soul. Your society or religious beliefs will not save your soul. It is your actions of how you treat others. That's what I've always liked to think. And when I was younger and in church, that was not the accepted understanding, though. It was very much based on hard and fast, rules. I think devout on anything can be a problem because I think oftentimes when we're devout, whether it's like in any of our beliefs, not just religion, it blinds us to the times when we could be wrong. That's the part you can fix. That your religious beliefs won't save your soul, but your actions. That's interesting. I like that. I mean, but I feel that's not really a new concept, right, though? Aren't there, I feel like while the church may say you have to do A, B, C, and D, that there have been a lot of people for a long time saying that it's not about those things, it's about who you are as a human and how you spend your time here. Is that, am I off? I just did this ghost bright blue and I'm regretting it. Yeah, definitely regretting that color. Oh well, we're here now. God's new covenant. I know that God is good and people ruin the experience of God for others. Yeah, I agree with that. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. I hear my brother-in-law. Just a minute. dropped ran away, but I heated up my coffee, so we're good. All right. God just wants, oh, Jimmy with the retracting messages. God just wants us to not judge each other, show mercy and forgiveness. Paul, if God exists in God and is God, he can tailor our behavior according to his supreme will over us. But it's our choice. That's an interesting kind of discussion you guys are having there. Right? Because that comes up in that question of free will versus divine intervention, I guess. Oh, wow. Blasted by the sun. I don't mind. It actually feels really good. Oh man, I'm glad I'm looking at the other streaming page because that one, I was looking on YouTube for a second and it's way delayed. But here I can see what you guys say a lot faster. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. It's gotten quite strange looking. But we're here now. Theoretically, God put a conscious into every man for a purpose. Okay, question, Jimmy. The way you just said that, put a conscious in every man for a purpose. That implies individual consciousness, yeah? Because I have been very interested in the collective consciousness. Oh my God, I just remembered. I forgot to tell you guys the weird synchronicities that happened. On Monday. Get this. Multiple things happened. One, I know we're talking about Jesus, but I gotta tell you these synchronicities. Monday night, I was doing something in the bedroom, and I walked into the living room. Sorry, it's a gate. And Monty was chewing on a plant, which that dog is 8 years old almost. He's never, ever done that. I've never seen him do that. It was a complete shock. And obviously, certain plants are toxic to animals. So it was like, oh my God, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And like, so I immediately stopped it. And I noticed him look at another plant like he wanted to go for it. And it dawned on me that the only time he ever tries to eat grass is when his stomach's upset. And there's no grass in the house, so he might have been looking for something like that to soothe his stomach. So I leashed him up and I went to take him outside really quick, but I couldn't find my phone. And I looked, I did 2 laps around the house quickly looking everywhere, and I was like, fuck it, I just gotta go. So I grabbed him and I ran outside and I found my phone outside in the rain. And I would not have gone outside to get it out of the rain. I don't know how long it would have taken me to realize that I didn't know where it was. And I don't know how long it would have taken me to ever figure out that I'd left it outside, because I've never done that before. And it was abnormal for Monty to suddenly need to go out like that. So that was kind of strange. It was like, oh shit, what is happening? And oh my God, there's my phone any longer in the rain and it would have been ruined. So a little while later, I come inside the house and I look in the kitchen at the clock on the stove and it's 7:25 p.m. And I turn at the crock pot, which is going backwards from 12 hours because we were making a broth, and it's at 7 hours and 25 minutes left. So one clock is counting down and one clock is counting up, and they're set at completely different times. One's the actual time, one's just an arbitrary time that we set for the broth to start for a 12-hour cook cycle. And I happened to walk in and look at both clocks when they were at the exact same number, and that was very odd. And then I get a text message from my therapist about some random, there's this medication she was, over-the-counter stuff she was taking that didn't agree with her, and her doctor said that she could gift it, and it's medication that I take. It's a whole thing. But that all happened on Monday too, and it was a full moon. And then my neighbor who cuts my hair was up cutting my hair last night, and she said that yesterday, or over the weekend, they had watched 2 Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movies, the like 1936 and 1941 one, and her boyfriend was saying that he thought he wanted to be Mr. Hyde for Halloween. And all weekend long, he was parading around the house, getting into character, pretending to be Mr. Hyde to like see if he could do it. her uncle had passed away a couple weeks ago, and I inherited this box of stuff. And yesterday morning, her boyfriend was going through the box, and he found this deck of cards. The deck of cards is like monster themed, and each card has a different classic monster on it. Dracula, Frankenstein, whatever. They've never seen these before, and he got them out, and he shuffled them up, and he hadn't looked through them or anything. He was just shuffling them like with the back of the cards, and he laid them out in front of his girlfriend. He was like, pick one, anyone. And she picked one, and she picked the one Mr. Hyde card. After they had been talking about him all weekend, after they saw the same movies. So like all of this happened to me, to my neighbor, like just different things, all within like 12 hours, all within the full moon. And it was just very exciting. It felt like the universe just kind of giving me a nod of like, hey, remember, we're magic, anything can happen. I don't know if it's true, but I just forgot, I wanted to tell you guys that. Okay, we can go back to Jesus now. Firm believer in the love thy neighbor reference that Jesus said. Absolutely, Alf. I'm a really good neighbor. I love my neighbors. I think also people try to mold religion to make it comfortable, but it's not necessarily to claim that religion if one is not faithful in devotion. Interesting. HB, you should read my version of Enoch. Tell me if the English is clearer. Alf, if every generation loved their children, we would live in a better world. I mean, yes, there were a lot of things that if we did differently, we would live in a better world. We are a big science project. The angels or aliens, the watchers, are here to make sure humanity can ascend spiritually. Great story. Witches live the best stories. Thanks! Witches do have the best stories. That's an interesting concept, HB. Here to make sure that humans can ascend spiritually. I feel like that is something that I've heard, right? It's kind of like the prison planet theory, too, that we are here because we're on a prison planet to grow and ascend and be worthy of exiting humanity. I mean, it's just a theory that I've heard also. I've also heard, again, we're just talking fun theories, but in astrology, apparently your signs, like as a whole, like your rising, moon, whatever, can tell you a little bit about your path. And according to my astrology, I am supposed to be on my last iteration of humanity, should I choose. It's very weird to say, but because I'm an Aries sun and a Pisces rising, and Aries is the first sign and Pisces is the last, apparently that's supposed to mean that I've come full circle in my cycle. I mean, if we're talking just, concepts and ideas. I will tell you guys 18 times that I have no idea what's true. So please don't take it as me saying this is accurate, but it's just an interesting idea. Why is this marker bleeding so much? The only thing that's changed is that this is a new book. Yeah, HB, you're right. The telepathy tapes nonverbals do say that they're here to help ascend. I've seen that. I'm actually really excited, you guys. We only have a little bit longer until the second season starts. I still have a few episodes of the talk tracks that I want to catch up on. I've talked to, so a lot of my friends now have all listened to the telepathy tapes and are all very into it. But they all have also kind of fallen off listening to the talk tracks. I think that the concepts are just so big and out there and hard to take in that people have kind of tuned out a little. Hi, bud. I'm almost done laying down the colors. I kind of hate this picture, but that's okay. Can't win them all. Every time I try to color with more true colors, I guess, like grass is green, sky is blue, I end up hating it versus when I do something tonal and it doesn't make any sense. Hi, bud. Yeah, I kind of hate this. That's okay. If I accomplish my promise, I may ascend to a higher dimension. No more reincarnation. I mean, I think that's if we're believing in reincarnation. I feel like that's true for a lot of us, right? Like if we come to learn our lessons, to do what we're meant to do, whether that is keeping a promise or whether that is something else, that the idea is that we then can transcend this experience, no? Really, Jimmy? Reincarnation is triggered by several different factors, more explainable, most explainable. I'd love to hear more. Reincarnation has always been fascinating to me, but I never really knew what I thought about it until lately. I've become more inclined. Once you start doubting your existence, you go deeper into the rabbit hole, which has no ending, until you decide what is your real truth, and you're fine with it. I like that, Alf. Telepathy tapes. Talk tracks trying to teach neurotypicals to do telepathy, and they are failing. That's why Mossbridge was brought in, because that's what she teaches. Really? Really, HB? I didn't catch that. That they were trying to teach that, and that Dr. Mossbridge teaches that. I mean, obviously I've noticed that they talk about that, right? But I guess I didn't take it into that much account. Okay, if this hadn't bled so much, this picture would be a lot better, but it's okay, we're here now. I'm gonna be done before too long. You guys have been awesome. Honestly, with the channel doing pretty poorly right now, compared to how I've done in the past, having you guys here has meant so much. It really, really has. It helps me keep going when I know that, like, even if I don't have it quite right yet, I can only improve, right? I can only get better. You're in the sun, but I'm almost done. I think it's gonna be okay. Okay, telepathy takes talk tracks, big on meditation. Okay. I'm a firm believer that you can only be a science person or a spiritual. Oh, really, Alf? I could not disagree more. I do not believe that you can only be science or spiritual or religion. I believe it is very possible to be spiritual and scientific. Doesn't mean they always make sense. Doesn't mean they always play nicely. But I believe that you can hold space for both. I believe that I hold space for both. I'm very spiritual, but I'm also very interested in the science. But again, to each their own. But I personally disagree. There's also a lot of scientists that have become spiritual. There's a neurologist, Dr. Marjorie Wollicott, I think she was a neurologist, who started meditating and became spiritual and is still very much a scientist. There are several scientists like that are spiritual and still science-minded. Yeah, Andy, you're both? I feel like I'm both. I really do. And I mean that sincerely. I know that, like, I'm not a scientist. There's a lot for me to learn. But I am fascinated by science and I'm fascinated by spirituality. And I think the more I look into science, the more spiritual I become as I learn about consciousness in a scientific perspective, because the magic and wonder of consciousness and all of the craziness has led me to spirituality. Does that make sense? I hope that you don't think I'm being argumentative, because to each their own. I'm just my experience. Okay, Paul, from a preservation standpoint, it's better to climb the mountain than pull someone up from a firm place than to push someone else up a cliff and be dragged down. That's what I've decided as an adult. Paul, I'm so glad you said that. That's one of the reasons I got kicked out of church. We did a I don't want to say it's an experiment or a game, but we did this thing where, as a child, we would stand on a chair and someone would stand on the ground. And the goal was to try and pull someone up on the chair. And their goal was to try and pull you down on the chair. And the exercise was supposed to show that it is easier to pull someone down than to pull someone up. And so their point was, don't be friends with non-believers or people that are down there, because they're going to drag you down easier than you can drag them up. And I asked, because the whole thing, their point was about, what's the word I'm looking for? To bringing people into Christianity. And my argument or question, I guess, was, how would someone come to make such a drastic change or believe something so drastic such as my religion if we're not friends first and haven't built that trust? And they were like, you just have to tell them about Jesus and have them come to it, and then you can be friends with them. And I was like, so I can't be friends with them if they don't believe in Jesus, because they're going to bring me down. And they were like, yes. And I was like, but I believe that the only way to gain trust and to have these kinds of conversations is with a friend. And they were telling me no. But it was that up and down thing was one of those big ones that really snuck. I ended up getting sent home from that experiment, which is wild to me that was the response to me having questions. But it just reminds me of that. That's so interesting. Also, my phone's in the sun. If I lose you guys, I'm going to let you go, but I don't think it's cold enough out here. I think I'm okay. Your second book is called Because I Promised, where myth meets science. Scientism is a social cult, religion, self-righteous hate, sphere of influence. Science is king at this stage in our evolution. It is, but I don't believe in scientism, and I don't like materialistic science, which is why I think there's space for science and spirituality. Not everybody holds that space. And in society as large, I don't think we hold that space. But I do think that there are more and more people coming into both, right? Like Andy, and like myself. Thanks for letting me yap about that. Okay, Sundown. Make some decisions. I'm gonna lose my phone to the sun. And I wanna show you guys this. I'm hustling. Before I go, Monday, I will not be on because I am leaving Vegas on Monday and our flight's Monday morning. So that is just going to be chaos with the airport. So I will not be on Monday morning, but I will be back on Wednesday, and if I can, I'll try and go live from Vegas over the weekend one morning. I don't know that I'll be able to, but I'm gonna try. Dr. Hennessy and I are about to change that paradigm. I love that HB, I really do. It was such an interesting conversation today, guys. I'm going to show you this picture. Okay, HB. If I go live in Vegas, I'm not gonna have your book with me, but when I come back, I will grab that. I'll grab your book and we will explore that a little bit. That would be nice. I'm trying to hustle before my phone gives out. I know you do, and I appreciate you being so patient with me and how long it's taking me to read. You've been very patient with me. Hello, little bee. Oh, good, you're out of the sun. Okay. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Organic POV phone. Okay. Oh, lives from Vegas. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm not going to just be running around Vegas, right? I've got 2 weddings. So, maybe I can do a get ready with me and sit and talk to you guys while I get ready for one of the weddings, and maybe we can do it with like a cool view. I don't anticipate just walking around Vegas. We have a quite jam-packed kind of experience while we're there. But I would like to do something. Maybe I do a POV. That, like, the only thing with the POV is that it really doesn't have anything to do with my channel topic. Not that you guys care, but I wonder if it would alienate anything. Alright, I think am I done? Add a little grass, vlogging if you will. Sporting my Hailey Bieber look, yeah. Is the Angelo's playground Vegas? Yeah, it seems to be. Like I said, I've only been once, and it hasn't been since I was like 21, so this is gonna be fun. Yeah, and I'm very excited about my Hailey Bieber dress. I did not know that it was a Hailey Bieber dress, but she looks dynamite in it, and it's gonna put me to shame, but I'm excited all the same. Alright, 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 I think I'm good. The lawn care is starting, as we can all hear. Perfect timing. Spider web, trying to hustle. Okay. Alright kids, I'm going to show this to you. I would go to Vegas to catch a Raiders game and get out. Yeah, I don't have, I wouldn't go to Vegas voluntarily for like funsies. It's literally because of these weddings are already in Vegas. Well, the one wedding is in Vegas, we're doing another. Yeah, it's not normally my playground either, but we're going to make the most of it. I'm very excited. So, here's my image. Sorry about the neighbors starting up. It's okay. They're all right. It's okay. Not my best, not my worst. I'll try and go live this weekend, guys. But if I don't, I'll see you in a week. But I really do want to go live. This was needed for my little heart and soul. And it brought me some peace. So I hope it brought you peace. Oh, Paul. You are so kind. You didn't have to do that. $5 on black. I will do it. $5 on black. Got it. Someone else told me 13 on roulette. So that's the 2 I'm going to try. I want to go to the Sphere, but that is money and time, right? And I don't know how much time we're going to have. I also don't know what's going on at the Sphere yet. But, oh, thanks, Jimmy. You guys mean so much to me. Thank you. I will see you guys really soon, and $5 on black. I got you. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.